Some more mildening to the latest on the cleanup following Thursday's winter storm. The city has spent the day focusing on sidewalk clearing and snow removal in high priority areas. Those efforts started last night along Hospital Row and expanded today to bridges overlooking the Don Valley Parkway. More than 1,300 people are working on the city's response. Snow removal is prioritized for public transit routes, hospital corridors, bridge ramps, and other key locations. Parking remains banned on snow routes with enhanced towing and parking enforcement in effect. If you see an area in need of plowing, you can contact 311. And in the midst of this blast of snowy weather, volunteers came out to prepare winter survival kits for people experiencing homelessness here in the city.
Nobody chooses to be homeless.
It's all part of Project Winter Survival, an initiative that helps Toronto's unhoused community get through these bitter, cold winter months. Volunteers were able to pack and distribute 3,500 backpacks full of necessity. Among those volunteers were Global News Chief Meteorologist Anthony Farnell and loyal helper Storm the Weather Dog. They joined members of Project Winter Survival and Toronto Police to help get the kits out to people on the streets.
The kits that we packed today, over 3,500 of them, are going to make a huge difference.
Our hope is to give these people hope so that just nobody freezes to death on our streets until our government can figure this out and give us what we all need, the solution, which is housing.
The kits include warm clothing, sleeping bags, health care items, food and water. Project Winter Survival has been running since 1999, distributing over 45,000 kits to those in need. An initiative like this couldn't come at a better time. While we might be seeing some more mild temperatures today, they're not going to last. A major cold snap is coming in the next 24 hours. So with more on that, let's bring in weather specialist Noor Afat. Noor, just how cold is it going to get?
Hey, thanks very much, Kevin. Well, as cold as -17 with the wind chill tomorrow morning in Toronto. That is how it's going to feel like when you head outside around 7, 8 a.m. So certainly a slap in the face and certainly a big difference from what many community members are experiencing at this hour. 24-hour changes have meant milder conditions for much of southern and eastern Ontario. Of course, big difference, and that difference you started to feel since last night. If you were out later in the evening yesterday, after that snow stopped, we started to feel the return of some milder conditions. 0 degrees in Toronto. It's not the same in Windsor, and that's because that community already saw the milder temperatures overnight and early tomorrow morning, and since then they have been plummeting, and that is the same story that's expected to happen through southern Ontario heading into the day tomorrow. Now, the winds have been strong, especially out towards Windsor and London, 50, 59 kilometers per hour. It's picking up in Toronto as well, and we are starting to see more of those snow squalls around the shores of Lake Huron, around the shores of Georgian Bay as well. So that's where we see the watches and warnings in place, anywhere between 10 to an additional 25 centimeters of snow in the next few days. For those around the northern shores of Lake Ontario, we are expecting dry conditions, even clear conditions for the overnight tonight. A chance to see some stars, if you will. Heading into the day tomorrow, the cloud cover will build. There may be some sunny breaks in Toronto, but still expecting those dry skies to linger up until Monday, when we start to see some flurries push in. And now the trade-off will be the temperature change, of course. -5 for that high in the afternoon. Early morning hours at -17 with that wind chill and a windy day expected. Kevin?
Thanks, Noor. And as cooler temperatures continue to grip the city, warming centers remain open. The centers are located at 136 Spadina Road, 81 Elizabeth Street, 12 Holmes Avenue, 349 George Street, 885 Scarborough Golf Club Road, and the Cecil Community Center at 58 Cecil Street. The centers offer people experiencing homelessness a warm indoor place to rest, eat, and access shelter services. If you're traveling in the cities, All right, we got our Noor Rafat in here for our Sky Tracker forecast. And Noor, it has been sort of mild right now. I'm sure there's a catch.
Yes, unfortunately there is, Kevin, and you're right on the nose. We are going to see those temperatures come crashing down in the coming days. Now, the trick is for those that have seen those temperatures climb above the freezing mark, that means a lot of refreezing, wet snow turning into ice. So that's a concern with slippery sidewalks, of course. Others, it just means you're going to have to bundle up in the coming days. And just like that, we will be saying goodbye to those mild temperatures in Toronto, plummeting significantly to a high of -5 in the afternoon. Tomorrow, those morning wind chills at -17, and it will be quite the windy day. Now, there will be some sunny breaks potentially with some of this cloud cover. For the most part, though, expect clouds to dominate dry conditions, which is not the same for everyone in southern Ontario. The jet stream has been getting twisted out of shape. You know what that means when you see a trough this deep. All the cold air has somewhere to go, and where it's parked itself is around large parts of central Canada, pushing into, of course, the entirety of Manitoba, down in the Midwest as well. 10 degrees in Calgary. What a juxtaposition between that and Atlantic Canada, even milder than the entirety of Atlantic Canada, which is quite incredible during this time of the year. Now, we know the deep freeze is coming, and in the next few days it's going to affect different communities differently. For some, they will see temperatures climb above the freezing mark and then below, and then above the freezing mark and below. And some of that risk is mostly around parts of southwestern Ontario. The reason that that's concerning is we're seeing some melting and refreezing. So the surfaces are getting slippery. There's some ice forming, of course dangerous for community members as they're walking around, but also for driving. In Toronto, it seems like we will remain below the freezing mark for much of this upcoming week, which means not a whole lot of melting happening aside from what you're seeing today. So really hoping you got a chance to clear off some of that snow, because it is turning into ice as we speak. We are looking at dry conditions for much of the northern shores of Lake Ontario this evening, and then as we head into tomorrow, dry conditions, although building cloud cover. Monday rolls around and those squalls start to intensify, especially for those east of Georgian Bay and east of Lake Huron. As the day progresses, we'll see some shifting winds, so some of those squalls will make their way through southern Ontario, Toronto included, Peterborough as well, parts of eastern Ontario getting a taste of that snow before some sunny breaks into Tuesday. So we'll really linger with some of those snow squalls around the snow belt in the coming days, hence the climbing totals over there. 4 to 3 centimeters could be possible around Toronto, 3 in Niagara Falls, 13 in Kingston, depending on whether some of those squalls could make their way in heading into the Monday hours. So we'll see what happens over there. -11 in Windsor with some windy conditions tonight, -7 over there tomorrow, -4 in Ottawa. And for our viewers in the GTA, 6 in Mississauga, or -6 in Mississauga rather, Hamilton at -6 degrees. Remaining below the freezing mark for much of this upcoming week, but a cold Tuesday with wind chill values at -20. Your Saturday even colder, a high of -11.
Turning to the latest on the cleanup following Thursday's winter storm. The city has spent the day focusing on sidewalk clearing and snow removal in high priority areas. Those efforts started last night along Hospital Row and expanded today to bridges overlooking the Don Valley Parkway. More than 1,300 people are working on the city's response. Snow removal is prioritized for public transit routes, hospital corridors, bridge ramps, and other key locations. Parking remains banned on snow routes with enhanced towing and parking enforcement in effect. If you see an area in need of plowing, you can contact 311. And in the midst of this blast of snowy weather, volunteers came out to prepare winter survival kits for people experiencing homelessness here in the city.
Nobody chooses to be homeless.
It's all part of Project Winter Survival, an initiative that helps Toronto's unhoused community get through these bitter, cold winter months. Volunteers were able to pack and distribute 3,500 backpacks full of necessities. Among those volunteers were Global News Chief Meteorologist Anthony Farnell and loyal helper Storm the Weather Dog. They joined members of Project Winter Survival and Toronto Police to help get the kits out to people on the streets.
The kits that we packed today, over 3,500 of them, are going to make a huge difference.
Our hope is to give these people hope so that just nobody freezes to death on our streets until our government can figure this out and give us what we all need, the solution, which is housing.
The kits include warm clothing, sleeping bags, health care items, food and water. An initiative like this couldn't come at a better time. While we might have seen some more mild temperatures today, they're not going to last. A major cold snap is coming in the next 24 hours. With more on what we can expect, let's bring in weather specialist Noor Rafat. Noor, just how cold is it going to get?
Hey, thanks very much, Kevin. Well, it's going to get as cold as -17 early tomorrow morning. That is what the wind chill will feel like when you wake up. Certainly a slap in the face and a big difference from what many community members saw with those milder temperatures out there today. Milder temperatures that are, in fact, coming to a close as we speak. -5 degrees for that temperature outside the Toronto airport right now. The highs that we experienced today, +2, +3 in Hamilton and in Toronto, and we've been talking about this for a while because of what it will lead to. That snow on the ground that we saw dumped across large parts of southern Ontario is starting to melt, and then when it melts and then refreezes, that's when you have the snow turning into ice. Snowbanks getting harder and harder to remove. If you didn't shovel your driveway, my sincere condolences. We are starting to see the colder air push through southwestern Ontario. Still struggling to catch up to the east, but it will eventually heading into the day tomorrow, and many community members, including the GTHA, will be feeling the difference with those plummeting temperatures. Strong gusting winds upwards of 50 km. They have been fueling the snow squalls out towards the eastern shores of Georgian Bay and eastern shores of Lake Huron. The snow squalls will continue heading into the day tomorrow. Dry conditions and clear conditions overnight tonight for northern shores of Lake Ontario, including in Toronto. Some sunny breaks could be possible in the morning, but the dry conditions continue heading into the evening. Can't say the same for Fort Erie and Wyerton, that will continue to see these squalls. Take in those temperature changes, -5 by the afternoon, but incredibly frigid up in the morning at -17. Kevin?
Thanks, Noor. Kids at a Scarborough court got the chance to play alongside an NBA superstar today.
Welcome to
All right, Sky Tracker weather with our Noor Rafat. Noor, for those who wanted a break from the winter, too bad. It's coming back to get you again.
So glad you are the bearer of bad news, Kevin, not me.
I'll jump on it.
Go ahead and shoot the messenger. Yes, but indeed, Kevin, we are going to be seeing some colder conditions in the next coming days. Now, cause for concern for those that are seeing a flip-flop. So if you're above freezing and now below, you're going to be seeing some ice on the roads, some slippery surfaces. For those that are not seeing that, a consistent temperature drop, well, you're going to have to bundle up in the coming days.
Okay.
As quickly as those temperatures climbed, they will come down tomorrow in Toronto. You're high at -5, which is colder than average, and that's after we saw above average temperatures. The wind chill in the morning will be the hardest. The trade-off is a little bit of some of those sunshine or sunny breaks that we were seeing. You could be seeing some fog as well move in, thanks to some of that milder air that's still lingering. Now, we are seeing a deep trough into the jet stream, the cold air rushing to fill that space, and for the most part we are expecting that cold air to make a journey, quite the journey, heading into the next few days. Moving out to the east, the deep freeze will be felt differently depending on where you're situated. Now, some of those community members that we're hoping could be mindful of the temperatures in the next few days are those that will see temperatures climb above the freezing mark and then below, and above the freezing mark and then below. That means there's some melting and refreezing, so slippery sidewalks, dangerously slick surfaces, both for humans and also for cars. Now, in Toronto, there is a chance we'll see those temperatures remain below the freezing mark in the next few days, so not a whole lot of melting aside from what you saw today. So safe to say tomorrow, do expect some slick conditions, some of that melting snow transitioning to ice. It will be quite slippery out there. Heading into the next few days, days, we might see some snow make its way towards the GTHA. That will be around Monday afternoon with some of these bands. Again, the snow squalls continue up towards the snow belt. By Tuesday, still seeing that activity, but a shift in the direction of those squalls might mean some of that snow moving into Peterborough, Muskoka, Orillia, maybe even some flurries for Toronto, aside from some sunny breaks. So we'll see some accumulation, of course, the heaviest around the shores of the Great Lakes, especially Georgian Bay, around Bruce County, southern Huron County as well. In the coming days, temperatures will be a big story. -11 in Sudbury tomorrow, -7 in Windsor, -6 in Toronto, and many of our community members in the GTHA feeling the difference as well. Hold on to your hats in the coming days. It will be quite the windy stretch Monday into Tuesday. Take a look at this, -9, feeling close to -20 in the morning. Little bit of relief closer to seasonal Wednesday. But then we drop right back down Thursday, Friday, Saturday, especially wind chill values in the morning, feeling close to the -mid-20s.